of a dream. My four little children.
Al voordat Martin Luther King Jr. zijn beroemde speech afstak, droomde Autherine Lucy van gelijke rechten. Ze wilde studeren, maar stuitte op hevig verzet. Wat gebeurde er precies? In 1952 meldden Autherine Lucy en Polly Myers zich aan bij de Universiteit van Alabama.
But when we got to the campus, they say, "I'm sorry, we cannot accept your admittance here."
Why not?
That's what we asked. But what he told us was that that was not the law of the land. Blacks were not able to go to that school. He didn't use the word blacks, but we understood that anyway.
Aangemoedigd door de burgerrechtenbeweging probeerden ze het 3 jaar later opnieuw.
In 1954, as you know, they passed that decision saying that no longer would the schools be segregated. We said, okay. I said, yes, we want to go.
Autherine Lucy, a Negro registered for classes at the University of Alabama. School authorities refused to admit her until a federal court ordered them to do so.
Walked into the building and lady who was over the dormitory. When I went to her, she said, "I'm sorry, you won't be able to stay on campus." So then, oh boy, that floored me because I said, well, if I don't stay on the campus, how am I going to get to school? And I'm 51 miles from the school.
De burgerrechtenbeweging regelt een chauffeur, zodat Lucy naar de universiteit kan reizen. Ondertussen verspreidden zich op de campus geruchten.
She was dressed to the nines, they said. She came in a Cadillac, they said. She was treated differently. She didn't have to stand in lines and get her registration completed. So she was getting some preferential treatment, they said. Students started assembling, and eventually, with a crowd of some 2,000 people, marched downtown about a mile to the flagpole, where the rabble-rouser Leonard Wilson told the crowd they needed to resist this.
They were saying, hey, hey, ho, where in the hell did the nigger go? Hey, hey, ho, where in the hell did the nigger go?
Kill the black bitch, kill the nigger whore. All these kind of ugly, ugly things were being said by that mob of students.
I looked the word nigger up. It says that a nigger is a low-down, dirty person or a dog. And I'm neither of those. I try not to be low-down and dirty, and I know I'm not a dog.
I don't think that she should come down here because, well, my mother and my father and generations before that have always been taught that the colored and the white is a definite dividing line.
The crowd got noisy, and that was the day that all hell broke loose on campus. And it was not only a student mob, it had now been supplemented, infiltrated by white citizens counselors, which was a rabidly white supremacist group, and Ku Klux Klansmen.
I didn't know what was going on in Tuscaloosa. But Monday morning came the third day, and I went to school in Maar. It was just crowds all around the building where I was supposed to go in. And I said, excuse me, and went through the crowd. They let me go through and go and sit in my class, my first class. And the matron came to the door, and she was waiting for me. And when I went out that door, she said, Autherine, that crowd out there is waiting for you.
And so they made a decision to take her out of the back, put her in a car, Because the mob had spotted them in that movement, they blocked their getting out of the back parking lot.
And we drove around the campus, and about as soon as we got to the campus, here they come, running up. But she said, "Go now and run to your class." I had to run up the steps. And just as I was going up the steps, they were following behind me saying, "Let's kill her, let's kill her." But they didn't reach and get my leg. They could have.
And as she was dashing to the door, she could feel the rotten produce and the eggs hitting her and rocks pinging around her.
I was afraid. When I sat down, I looked at my clothes, and all that rotten egg was running down on my beautiful fitted green coat. And I found I had to take it off. But yes, that was frightening and annoying too.
The South isn't ready for that step, and I feel that that time should be decided by the South, and it is their decision to take.
Autherine said that her main purpose was to get an education, and if that was true, she had scholarships offered to Arizona, and she could have went there and wouldn't cost her a cent.
Na 3 dagen wordt Lucy voor het laatst naar huis gereden. De universiteit schorst haar.
But no one followed us out of town. We didn't have any trouble. We went on back home. But I was staying with my sister. And when I got there, they were calling on the phone, telling her to put that Autherine Lucy out. They were coming to get me. And I felt pretty comfortable. And my sister must have been pretty brave, because she told them, "If you come in here together, you got to bring yourself."
What brought about these actions, I feel, is that lawless elements outside the campus set themselves over and above the law. Their actions brought great discredit to our nation.
Met steun van de beweging wint Lucy een rechtszaak. Maar de universiteit weigert haar alsnog, zogenaamd om haar veiligheid.
She, got teaching jobs, but they were part-time for the most part. The discrimination worked against her really harmed her in terms of credential development. And the expulsion order was not lifted by the university until 1988.
In 1992 studeert ze samen met haar kleindochter af. De universiteit eert haar strijd met een gedenkplaat.
And to all of you standing around, I want you to know that the last time I saw a crowd like this at the University of Alabama, I didn't know what they were waiting for.
Wil je meer? Abonneer.